save. That was a super long delay. So what is it doing now, Jim? You need to be my eyes out there because I can. I see, and it normally would do. What did I do before that? It just started. It just started working. I think it just started doing what it was supposed to do. Okay. Yep, I'm going to drop it here in a minute. Let me find the... Okay, so it's gone. Okay. I think it should catch up. Let me get... I got to watch the waiting room too, so... Okay, so Jerry's here. Hey, Jerry. Enjoyed hanging out in your hood last weekend. I was around. I hit a few of your caches while I was around. And the super smoky climate over there. It was horrible over there. I couldn't believe how bad the smoke was. It was way worse than it is here. Great. All right. I don't know. Cool. All right. It's weird because what I'm looking at over here on the studio streaming, it's still spinning like it's trying to connect. So it's confusing. You know what? I should have printed up the bloody agenda, which I don't have in front of me. No, I don't think so. I don't think it has anything to do with that. Let me turn the stupid printer on real quick. Huh? Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. We'll have to edit, which is a whole other issue. It's a whole other issue. Trying to edit this stuff. What is this nonsense? Oh, did I hit print? That's what I want. Okay, what about now, Jim? Hey there, Jess. Hi, Annette. Long time no see. It's what, a couple hours ago? Enjoy that monster pole, okay? That freaking huge 23-foot, 24-foot extender pole. which, by the way, she needs for a certain special geocache that an even certain special geocacher put out. A certain reviewer. And we'll leave it at that because that narrows it down significantly. Even with that poll, by the way, it gets kind of top heavy when you're grabbing the end of it and you're waving it around trying to, yeah. Hopefully you'll have a party with you when you do that. I would connect with Mr. Blundine 10 because he's a pretty tall guy. That might be of some help there. I would I would connect with that guy. Just a thought. Which, by the way, I ran into him in Spokane with Pioneer Woman. Yeah, we were at JD and Lisa's little store over there, and ran into them doing the cash in the parking lot there. I was like, "What are you guys doing here?" It was hilarious. Let me get Cliff in here. Can't forget Cliff. Oh, you're muted there, Jerry. No, he's got a flight right after the meeting. He's gonna. How's Jesse doing, by the way? Haven't seen you in quite a while. Actually, I haven't seen a lot of you in quite a while, except for Jim and Annette, of course. Are you? All right. And Vicky and Brian. That's awesome. You guys are back. How are things down in the southwest corner? I bet, being so close to all the Oregon fires. Mm. Yeah. The wind's changed and they're blowing it all back up here again. So, and then there's yeah, it's deteriorating all over again. But I still think what we have here is not anything like Spokane area in northern Idaho. It's just quarter mile maybe. Oh, it was horrible. So let's see. I'm trying to think if we're missing anybody. Oh, here's Gene's here. Hey, let's get him in here. Gene just popped up on the screen. All right, so there's Gene. Gosh, are we missing anybody? I don't. Oh, Patrick. I don't see Patrick yet. I'm sure he'll be along. Oh. Yeah, he is not on. I don't see him on my screen here. Well, maybe he'll just be jumping right back on here. And then we can get through a fairly short agenda for the most part. I don't see him here yet, and it's a little after 6:30. So how's everybody else doing? Lori, I see you, it seems like every Saturday night. Every so often. All right. Well, I'm kind of hoping he'd jump back on here. Oh, nope. It just bounced around, but I don't see him waiting. We do have pretty much everybody. It looks like we're just missing Patrick and Chris of the Northwest. Let me just see if he's pinged me. No, he has not. Oh, there he is. He's back. There he is. Oh, he's connecting. Slowly. Still connecting. She's driving. Thank you. You my chat lackey type there. Gotta have a chat lackey always. I don't even think I'm technically. I don't think I'm watching. All right, Brian. Thank you for being in our audience. Well, I don't know what's going on here. It says he's connecting, but hey, Chris, can you hear us? It's still on my screen here. It says he's connecting, so I don't know if he's having connection challenges here or what. And he's not responding. Let me see. No, I can't. Huh. Okay. That's a long connect here. But it shows him here, so I think it. Hey, Chris, can you hear me? Can you hear us? Hello. Yeah. Yeah, that's what mine's showing too. I can see it bouncing there. Well, I want to make sure he's at least can hear us. I can ping him maybe. Oh, he's still connecting to Chris. Can you hear us? Okay. All right, let's see. We double pinged him. Oh, he looks like he is out again. Ah, crap. Okay. Well, we'll kind of get it started. I'm sure he'll be back on here now. Oh, there he is again. Okay, it says he's joining. Oh. Wow, I don't know what's going on there. It still says joining. I just sent a message. Said, "Do you have a slow connection?" All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start. I think we've got everybody here. We don't have. Oh, he's gone again. I think he's having some connection issues, is what it looks like. But we have a quorum, and that's kind of all that matters at this point. So we don't have Patrick, and hopefully Chris will pop back in here. But it looks like we've got everybody else that I can see here. So we'll go ahead and we're going to call the meeting to order. I'm just going to go around the table and do a quick roll call, starting with, we'll start with Jerry. You have to unmute yourself, Jerry. Okay. Then we'll go to Annette. Yes. Sorry. All right. Lori? Did you say? Okay, got a thumbs up. Jesse. Jesse's here. Cliff. Let's see. Miss Blue Canoe, Aaron. And Jean. Jean, I can see you. I think you're muted, Jean. Oh, I think I heard him. All right, awesome. Okay, excellent. So right now, the two absent right now, we have Chris of the Northwest, who might be popping back in, and Patrick. So that gives us a quorum. We can roll forward. I want to welcome everyone to the September board meeting. This one almost escaped me. It's just been kind of crazy for me here the last several weeks. I could say even several months for that matter. Busy with work and tons of other stuff around here. So thanks, Jesse, for the reminder. Yes, we were going to have a meeting today, and we are having it. So thanks for that. What we're going to jump into first is we're going to go ahead and approve a review and approve the July minutes from our July meeting. Thanks again, Lori, for our new secretary, Lori, for jumping in and getting that done. So hopefully everybody's had a chance to take a peek at those. Oh, Chris is back in here. Let me admit him here. All right. Perfect. And I see Chris of the Northwest is actually connected, so I just want to make sure that he is here. So roll call for you, Chris of the Northwest. All right, awesome. Okay. So the record will now show that we have everybody except Patrick from the South Central chapter. Okay. Any other comments on the meeting minutes besides what Annette just mentioned? Okay. Again, sort of a new format because we're using the YouTube, so it's kind of nice that that's there. We can capture it for all eternity and be able to go back and review those if need be, and they will stay in the library for folks to check out down the road. Okay, so make sure, Lori, we'll want to upload those minutes to the website so that we have it there. Actually, we'll have it in two places: video format and then the actual document format on the web page, which will be nice on the website. Okay, so at this point, we just need to vote on it. Do we hear a motion? Okay, I hear a second. Okay, all in favor? What I should do is go around the room. So let me go around the room. We'll start with Jerry first. Annette. Miss Lori. Jesse. Cliff. Eugene. And Aaron. Aye, I got it. And then Chris of the Northwest. All right, excellent. We've got a full aye and no nays. What was that? Well, yes, and Vicky and Brian, yes, sorry. I want to get you guys in there too. Okay. And you guys are represent. We're going to get to that. I think we probably need to make that a formal vote, but it's kind of down further on the thing, but I'm going to go ahead and accept that. But we need to do that formally, of course. Okay, so let's get into the treasurer's report. I think Annette whipped one out for us, which she sent to everybody this afternoon, which is fantastic. She and I met today, and I gave her the card, the debit card to our account since it was sent to our PO box. So she is now officially kind of locked into the position. So, which is great. And I'm assuming you were able to get whatever the information you need from the bank today. Mm-hmm. Oh, jeez. Okay. Yes. Awesome. All right. Perfect. I'm glad we finally got that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Jesse. Exactly. Exactly. And I think the key thing right now is, of course, memberships and getting people to renew. That's going to be kind of tough without holding events. Again, I think Jerry's got it in a unique situation because of his geographical location. He can just slip over into Idaho and off we go with an event. But anything in WA, it ain't happening. So we have to find some other unique ways to get people to renew. And I think a good way to do that, especially for premium members, is we set a deadline, and I know was kind of talking a little out of order with this report because we were going to talk about the coin here later on, but I'm thinking, as we always do, is we set a deadline for renewals and new membership for premium to get the coin by X date, and we publish that on social media and other places, and that will, I think, definitely help drive our membership up for sure if we do something along those lines. So what do you think? What do you guys think on that? I mean, I think usually we use events as our vehicle for driving membership, and we just don't have that. Right. Right. Yes, that was another good sort of drive for membership, and the spot the ape thing. I think that's going to go well right now because people are looking for other things to do since there's no events. I think the timing of this is going to work out really well for us as a whole. And I mean, last year those spot the ape tags, those were flying out of here. I mean, daily I was sending packages and packages of those things out, and I think easily within about 3 weeks they were gone. We had sold out. So it's a big. I think it was our biggest seller last year, easily, hands down, even more so than the ape coin. So that's going to help us. So we're going to have to strategize on when we're ready to do all this and launch all of it. And obviously we need to get the coins and the tags, and we're still waiting for that side. So yeah, I hate jumping out of order here, but since we're already on the subject, we might as well just hit it. So on the 2020 coin, and I'll turn this over to you, Jesse. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, we don't need to because it's not an expense. You're just reporting what are in and outgoing. So there's nothing we need to vote. If this was an expenditure, absolutely we would. If we were, yeah. So your report's fine unless somebody else. We should open this up for comment first. Yeah. So let's open that up first, and then we'll talk about the coins. Oh, you good? I was going to follow up with you on that. So thank you. So we got both of you you have the bank cards for our account, which is great. So that just finalizes the changeover of the positions. So glad we got that taken care of. Yes, Jim was racking some miles up, getting both Annette and Lori dialed into our account, but it worked. So. Well, and yet the other challenge, of course, is banks do visits by appointment now. So that's a bigger issue. Now you got to schedule it, and everybody's got to meet at the bank and go in and do all that. So it's not like you just can't walk in and talk to a teller. Those days seem to be. I don't want to say they're behind us, but hopefully they'll come back. But right now it's all by scheduled appointment. So. So it was great that the three of you were able to get this done and taken care of. So I appreciate that. So any comments or questions on the treasury report before we move forward? Okay then. All right. Well, thank you, Annette, for that, and again everything with the banking issues. All right. We could talk about the membership report, and I could show you if I share my screen here, which I should be able to do. I did a couple of things, but Annette kind of took the wind out of my sails a little bit. not in a bad way, because she had such a great report. So it was pretty awesome that you pretty much went through all the you know, the renewals and stuff. So maybe I won't go through all of it after all, since you already gave us the numbers and everything. But it's obvious that our memberships are down, and there's only a few things that we can really do on that. I mean, Jerry can still do his thing. I missed that Post Falls WSGA event by a couple of weeks, but I think Annette was there, so. That is a wonderful park, because I was there and got to yeah, there's the Earth Cache is there, and there's Lab Adventure, of course, there. So that was one of the ones I did, which was fantastic. I've never been to that place, so it was definitely a highlight for me. And that Treaty Rock was pretty cool too, where you've got your letterbox over there. That damn letterbox gave me so much grief, but I'll share that for another day. It was early in the morning when I was over there, but anyway, okay, so I'm going to not really get into the membership report at this point. I mean, Annette pretty much gave us the info on that. Other than, you know, we need to get people to renew, and we got a way to address that with the new coin, which I think, I mean, let me just touch base. Has everybody seen? I'm sure Vicky and Brian have not, but I think the rest of you have probably seen the mock-up of it, the schematics of it. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into it. We've been talking about it, and it's tying into other things, so let's go for it. Perfect. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Is Oleg gonna handle the? Is that going to be on our website? I'm assuming so. or is it going to be on theirs? Hmm. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Right. Cool. Yeah, there's one question that came to mind was sort of a time frame that we think all this is going to come together. I mean, are we talking about October, November ish? Or are we talking more into the year? And then, okay. Yeah. And I think it's good that we have a deadline on, and I'm pretty sure they do that anyway with their other tags. Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Okay. And then getting the word out and promoting, I think, and maybe hop on the cashers of the Northwest and jump on that too. That's Yeah, it's not like we're advertising something that no one has ever seen before or heard of. So at least on that there's some name recognition and that sort of thing. But obviously we need to make the announcement and need to go large so that everybody knows. And 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 I'm thinking maybe dropping some little breadcrumbs over on social media too, where you start dropping little hints that something big is happening. Renew if you haven't renewed now, those kind of things, so that you're being very you're prepping folks for it, but we're not really telling them what it is. That there you go. Cool. I think I think Chris did. Chris of the Northwest. No, it'll go quick. Okay, there you go. Well, no, I think that's great. We just have so many of them, and again, I mean, this popular item that we had last year in merch, hands down, it was, sold out within 3 weeks, gone, out of here. And that was during a time where we didn't have all these pandemic things going on. So I think this is even going to be bigger, just because it's an activity that people can do. Yeah, so you've got your fingers crossed. I think, yeah, and again, this is going to be a nice fundraiser for the ape next year. So we definitely need, as Annette pointed out, we definitely could use the financial shot in the arm. So this is going to help. And that's not a geocaching log of the week coin either. It actually does glow. Just so that it doesn't people don't get confused, because it could happen. Awesome. Oh, there you go. Excellent. Excellent. You do now, which is great. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Is there any? Does anybody else have any questions for Jesse on those two items? Okay. Great. All right. So we'll bounce back up to the usual business, and we'll pop back up here to the chapter reports. So I know Jerry had one that the only one, of course. So I don't know. I'm just going to go around the horn real quick. If there's anything anybody within their chapter that wants to add or have any comments, we'll go for it. So we'll go ahead and start with Cliff on that. Yeah, that's going to be a common thread, I'm sure. So we'll go to Gene and pose the same question. Is there anything going on, anything exciting down out in your neck of the woods? Gene, are you there? He's there, but I don't see he's not responding. Hey, Gene. All right, we'll skip over and go to Aaron. So Aaron, anything you want to add or comment on, or any comments or anything going on over in the OP? Yep. Yep. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll get through this. I mean, as they say, we're all in it together. That is so true. Things will change. You can always go down to Oregon, I guess. which brings me to, well, speaking of Oregon, we'll go over to the Southwest here and we'll talk to Brian and Vicky. Just as a thought, have you guys ever considered going across the river and having a WSGA event over there? I mean, you could, in theory. They're not. They had a big, in McMinnville, they had a big 20th celebration event. Really? Okay. But I know that they did, and didn't you went to it though? So she was at the and I'm wondering if it's based on the individual reviewer. I'm not sure. I'm sure they have. They're again, Oregon. They're going to do things different than we are, obviously, as well as Idaho and every other state. There are some states that are actually still having events, and there are others that are not, or extremely limited. So I don't know what Oregon's rules are, but it sounds like they have some, and I don't know. Mm-hmm. And it may even be county to county too. So Multnomah may not allow geocaching events, but another the one next county next door might. So it may come down to that too. Um, mm, okay. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. So it's gonna, again, your mileage may vary, kind of a scenario. So it's not one size fits all. Except in Washington, where it is one size fits all, we're not having anything. But obviously, it's going to vary. So, I mean, it's up to you guys if you even want to consider doing something like that. If you can do that, I mean, obviously, I'll leave that up to you. But then that takes us to Jerry. So, how many people were at that event? Did you get quite a few? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if it works and the states allow, or the reviewers are allowing it, which it sounds like they are, I think that's great. I think I even noticed Montana was doing it too. They were doing events, which is a long way for any of us on the west side to go for events. Though Annette has done it, and Cliff, and I was over there, but that was after the event. Yeah, I know you could have, huh? There you go. Well, now I know for the next time. Maybe. Oh, okay. Um, all right. Well, so did I miss anybody? Gene. Oh, Chris in Northwest. I almost forgot about you. Yeah. You've missed out on the big summer picnic. You didn't have to worry about that. Yeah. Yeah. You'll get your chance. Yeah, let's hang all of our hopes on 2021. Right. And I don't. Yeah, they wouldn't. I mean, they wouldn't allow it anyway because it's too far out. But yeah, and oh, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, hmm yeah, and that's we didn't really talk about the ape isn't really on here because there really isn't much to talk about at this point. But I mean, the coins and the ape, the spot the ape game definitely is going to go towards that. So there is that helpful piece of it there, and it will help get some money in for us to help us with that large event that hopefully will happen next year. I can imagine. Yes, fingers crossed. Exactly. Because yeah, I don't know if they don't. Then are we looking at 2022? Are we going to have the big celebration? It'll be 22 years in the making instead of 20. I don't know. I mean, no one's really. They could have celebrated it 10 years ago if they wanted to. Of course, no one could have had the foresight to see this pandemic 10 years later that was going to affect this thing. I just feel sorry for those folks that had travel arrangements, flying from other continents, and then having to. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? They'll come again next year. It'll be it'll be a different, it'll be a different theme. It'll be a different vibe with all the cashiers in the area. It's going to be great. It's just too bad it didn't happen now. But what are you going to do? But it sounds like everybody that had a big events this year are just looking at doing it next year. I mean, Tri-Cities, they've moved on and they're looking at next year, and of course Woodstock is. So, I mean, that, if you think about it, it gives them even more time to put on a phenomenal event, and time is a good thing, especially for huge events like that. All right, let's move on here. Park liaison and outreach, we won't even really talk about it. I mean, unless there's something you've got, Annette, I doubt you do. I sort of kind of have an outreach, and it really kind of ties in down under new business. So I'll just kind of save that. Okay, go ahead. Oh, yes, there is one. I just remember what. Yes. Nice. Awesome. Right. That's fantastic, and the park has got quite a few caches, especially on the east side. There's that bike trail that runs on. Oh yeah, so the labs are going to work great there because then you don't have to worry about. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Awesome. Well, this is greatness. Yeah, because they could really almost do two different themed ones and go 5 and 5 if they wanted to. But that's going to be up to how they want to do it. Awesome. Okay, well, that's great news. All right. Cool. Outstanding. Okay. Let's see. It looks like a merch report. So now I do get this to. Well, I don't know. Again, maybe I don't need to bother with that because again, Annette, you really helped on the merch report. You already told us what the items that were the income. Yes. Yes. Go ahead. Oh crap! That's right. I forgot all about that. Yes, we got to do inventory, don't we? I know. Well, should we wait until we get the coins in and all that, and then do it? I mean, that's probably more to count. Well, I know that's what I was thinking too. To take the easy way out, but kind of works out great if we do get everything. Then we can package them everything because I'm sure they're just going to come in big bags as they always do or boxes, and then we're going to have to put those packages together eventually. So maybe there is a plus for doing that. So maybe we do that, Jesse. Yeah, it's a great idea. I like that idea. And maybe we can, we probably need at least one other person to help with that. Maybe Miss Annette, I don't know. You want to come on up here? Come up to Renton? There's a cache you can find here if you haven't already found it. It might be in my front yard. You never know. Oh, no. There's plenty more. You can, I'm in between two city parks, so there's caches to be found around here. There's a few, where it goes. Go figure. So anyway, he wants more Maltese. You know what? Maybe I there's this new development they're just rocking along here, and these houses are flying up like crazy across the street. But I found this cool little trail that kind of syncs the old neighborhood with the new play area neighborhood, and it's a spot that I can stick a cache in. I've been thinking about that for a while. It's like, what can I put in there? Multi. You're putting some pressure on me to come up with a multi now in my neighborhood. Okay. All right. Challenge accepted. So do you need it? You need a specific, the date that you find it, not necessarily when it was hidden. All right. Don't give someone the idea. Oh, there's a challenge idea. All right. So basically, I have till October 1st to put it out. Or maybe longer, because it depends on when the coins show up. So maybe I have to the end of October. All right. Well, that gives me time to really think about putting one together. So, all right. I'll add that to my agenda. Things that I need to do. Multi-cache in the hood. All right. Okay. Awesome. The more the merrier. Awesome. Okay. It does. And with all the tags and coins, we're going to need the extra hands, I'm sure. All right. Social media is next. If we're done with merchandise, yes, Jesse, do you want to throw some information out? Nothing amazing. Well, in the future, there will be. But right now, we're just going to keep it on the DL for the moment, and then we'll just do a media blitz, which I like. And do keep us in mind, Mr. Caching of the Northwest himself. Okay, well then we can just check that little guy off. So all business, the Valley City's Geo Tour round 2. So technically that could be new business. I've stuck it under old, but I know Gear Guru Jeff has been in contact with us about going to the round 2. So Annette, since that's your baby. Outstanding. No. And I talked to Lisa about those because I was lucky enough to actually visit the cache cave when I was over there. JD and Lisa actually opened the place up for me and Blondine Tan and Pioneer Woman because they were there sort of unexpectedly, but they were there getting the cache in the parking lot. So we got to go down to the basement and actually see their shop there. And I did talk to her about, I talked to JD, I think, about the tag itself. And not only is it not as expensive, but they can produce it a ton faster than any coin. And one thing they mentioned to me is, and hopefully we won't have this problem with our ape coins, but this whole thing started in China, of course, and they've had a lot of people in the production side at the mints that have been ill, and so they've been running either limited staff or inexperienced staff in some cases, and so they've been getting a lot of issues with coins being flawed and that sort of thing. The nice thing with the tags is A, it doesn't take that long to make, and B, it's somewhat pretty foolproof in terms of how those wonderful heavy duty tags are made. So that would be a good idea to look at that as instead of a coin doing the cool tag. And it looks like, yeah, Cliff's. Yeah, they got the little beaker thing going, which is just it's awesome. Yeah, I thought the artwork on that was really well done, and so that's certainly an option in that. I don't know the exact costs or any of that stuff. We didn't get into the specific. Well, by all means, reach out to Lisa or JD and talk to them about. Oh, you did. Okay. All right. Good. Well, you started the conversation, and that's great. So so you're doing? Did you say 20 additional? Okay. That, you know what? I think we can do a multi on your Geo tour. There you go. And they will be expecting a real gold coin instead of a tag at the end of that Geo tour. Yes, but they've got such a stigma about them already. So you said multi, and you've turned a bunch of people off. Right. Good. Yeah, I did that one. Well, I'll tell you what. Put me down. I'm gonna put one. I'll do a multi on the tour. I'll do two multis on the tour. How's that? So I'll do one in Kent, and they got that really cool penguin statue thing that's sitting there on the corner of Meeker and whatever the side street is there. But oh, because they moved them. Well, that's been there for a while, so I don't. And it's got the little mini penguin next to it, and it's made out of forks. It's all. Okay. You put me down for those. I'll put them out. That's not gonna be a problem. And I'll do multis. I won't do. So there you go. We'll you got it right, and it's recorded. So there you go. Awesome. All right. So any questions for Annette on the GO2 round 2? Anybody? Going. Okay. Excellent. All right. We already talked about the member coin, so we're going to bounce off of that. So let's get into new business. And first topic, as you guys have, hopefully you've noticed, we've got Miss Vicky over here in the upper left-hand corner. Well, for me anyway, it's the upper left-hand corner. And there's Brian too. It's not just his name there. He's really there. So they are back. They are back representing the Southwest. Which is great. Let's give him a hand. The story behind why we don't have Deb there anymore. For those of you who don't know, her mother did pass away here not too long ago. I want to say beginning of August. And she has moved back home. She has been back to Kaiser, Oregon for a while now. But her mother was not in the best of health anyway. And which was one of the reasons why she moved back home, and she did pass away. I want to say beginning first week of August, I think, somewhere around there. And I think she just decided that she wanted to spend more time with her dad and rest of her family, and essentially reduce her requirements, and so she can spend more time. So Brian and Vicky were so kind enough to come back on, and just as Chris of the Northwest said, came back on a great time. There's not much going on. You can choose to feel guilty or not. I'll leave that up to you. Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, we're all kind of waiting for that day whenever that's going to show up. I'm sure there's a number of us that have community celebration credits to do an event. And soon as that floodgate opens, I can just see those things just going out. So yeah, I mean, I I think the word to the wise of all that is, of course, we definitely want to try to, with all of us having, I definitely plan to make mine part of a WSGA event. I've already decided. I decided that long ago. As I was, even though I wanted to have one for the WSGA, it didn't meet the criteria, of course, because our account doesn't find a lot of cash. It puts on events, but it doesn't find a lot of caches. Ding, ding, ding. Kudos for you guys. But yeah, our main geocaching account, yeah. No. So unfortunately, but I figured, well, I'll do mine, with the WSGA. And, the rest of you, the chapter reps, with the exception of Cliff, because he was thinking ahead, you can do what you want. But if you want to make it a WSGA event, fantastic. That might bring a lot more people. You can kind of pump membership while you're at the event and so on. So, we all got time to think about what we want to do. I really don't have any idea at this point. I think a lot of it's going to depend on when things open up. I mean, if this happens in January, not sure how many. we got a long time to do, and that again gives you more time to plan. So you got time. Think about it. Yes. And I think we should probably vote them in just to make it official. I think I would just appoint, because they've been the reps before. This isn't somebody new. And so you guys are here. Let's give them a round of applause. You guys are welcome back to the board. Thank you, guys. You still have all the gear. You haven't even gotten rid of it. So it never transferred. So it's like they were kind of always there. So anyway, thank you guys for coming back, and definitely it sounds like you're thinking about things to do down there. Or you just like everybody else, we're stuck in a holding pattern for events and stuff. But and Astoria could be an interesting place for a Halloween event with all those cool old buildings and stuff. You could maybe have a Goonies kind of celebration event. I don't know. Just have fun with it. Well, great. Again, welcome aboard. So glad you guys are back. It's fantastic. Okay. New business. So let me talk to you guys about this meeting I have with Kittitas County, which is this coming Friday. I have a Zoom meeting with them, and sort of how that came about. Kind of a story. So I got a second lab adventure credit, and the first one I did was in Leavenworth. The second one is going to be in Cle Elum. Seems as though there's so many around here in the central part of the state. There isn't as many, so I'm like, okay, let's put one over there. And Cle Elum's a great town to have one. It's a kind of the last stop if you're heading, westbound. It's sort of the last stop before you hit the Cascades and the pass. And it's a great little town, and there's a lot of history, mining history and such. Just kind of that whole area really is like that. So I thought this would be a great place for a tour. So I was in the process, and I still am, mapping it out, planning it out. And unlike the one in Leavenworth, I want to do a bonus cache. And I have an ID for a bonus cache, and I have the location. But I wanted to contact the owner of the property, and so they referred me to the folks at the county tourism, which is actually in Ellensburg. And so I reached out to them and said, "Hey, explain what an adventure is and geocaching and all that kind of stuff." And this gal that I reached out to said, "Yeah, that sounds great." And then she CC'd this other gal named Madison, who is with the tourism side of the county. And so she pinged me, and she's like, "Oh, we're in the middle of doing a geocaching experience in Ellensburg, and we're thinking about doing something for the county." And so she was basically inviting me in to work with them on whatever they're doing, and she didn't really give me a whole lot of information. She just said that the one in Ellensburg is working with the wind farm that's out there, the PSE's wind farm, and a couple of other. There's a hotel there that they're working with, and a couple of other local entities. So that's for the town of Ellensburg, but they want to do something bigger for the county. And I'm like, oh, so I started throwing some ideas at them. A geo tour was one of them, and talked a little about that. I talked about a large adventure, if they could get a credit from HQ, they could do a really big lab adventure, or potentially, which I thought this would be kind of interesting, and I have yet to see this happen, is a combination of a geo tour with some adventure caches as part of the tour. So my meeting is at noon on Friday with them, and I'm just going to see what they're looking at doing. But they're interested in partnering with the WSGA in whatever they're doing. So I just need to see if they have a budget, how big is the budget. They obviously want to pump and promote tourism for the county, which means if it is a tour, it's going to be something that encompasses the entire county of Kittitas, which is a pretty good size area. If you look, yeah, well. Great. I will definitely hit you up since you were a resident of the area. But there is, like you said, there's a lot of places. If you think about the county really starts where the ape event happens, and it goes all the way to Lake Wanapum, all the way down to Vantage. That whole friggin' entire area, and then it goes north. I'm not sure quite how far north, but the town of Liberty is up there. And then you go in the other direction towards Yakima, and you got that really cool Yakima River Canyon Road. So there's a lot of real estate, and when you think about the wind farm, and you think about the cool old telephone museum in Cle Elum, then you got Ellensburg, Roslyn, Easton, all of those towns, and then again Liberty. There's all of these interesting places that you can work with. It could be, if they do a tour, it will be pretty big. Potentially it could be. So and people might actually stay out there, which is of course what they're looking for. So oh, there you go. I will toss that, because that's, if they're going to get folks are going to come here anyway for the big celebration and everything. Right. Exactly. So I think that's a great idea. So I will get a sense of what their funding looks like, what kind of budget they have. I got to think that I think they probably have some money that they just don't know what to do with potentially. And I don't know how the geocaching idea came in, and maybe they've got somebody. No, actually, I think now that I think about it, I remember what she said. There is a person at the Puget Sound Energy, and they put out caches in kind of all over the state. They're in like little parks and stuff that the PSC has, and I think they've been in contact with that individual. I don't know who it is. But I think that's kind of, yes, I've heard that too, and they've been somewhat reluctant. I don't know why. because that would almost encompass the entire state. I don't know how far east they go, but I know, like I said, that the Wild Horse Wind Farm is theirs, and that's all the way out, between Vantage and Ellensburg. So it's kind of in that sort of no man's land there. Whiskey Dick Mountain in that area out that way, which if you've never been there, you should go. In fact, at one point in time, there was a bunch of multi-caches there that were actually on that installation. And that was fun. I actually went up there and did that. You have to get a permit at the visitor center, and then they'll let you drive through the wind farm installation. And so basically they were all, talk about multi-caches again. They were all multi-caches, but the first waypoint was the stop at the visitor center to get your permit. And then they were all just standard caches. They're all traditionals. So every single one of them, the first waypoint was the visitor center to pick up your permit to go in. So I thought that was kind of cool. And those have all since unfortunately been archived. But I know there are some traditionals that the PSC has put out. I've talked about doing a Wherigo just around the visitor center alone, because there's so much to see up there. But anyway, if you've never been there, you should definitely check it out. The view is just insane. You're actually higher than Snoqualmie Pass when you're up there at their installation, and you look in this building and it's just this glass panoramic view, and you got the big wind turbines going there. It's a pretty slick place. So anyway, that's coming up on Friday, and depending on what happens, I'll have more for everybody in terms of whether it's a tour. I think a lot of it's going to come down to budgeting and what they have for money, but we'll see. Could be interesting. We could have a geo tour in Kittitas County that we're involved with, as if we have one already. Annette, you may be financing a couple of them. Well, not financing, but managing the finances, possibly. We'll see. Just going to make your job harder. There you go. Better. How about this? More robust. Be careful what you wish for. Don't say that too loud. Just shh. Okay, that's kind of the end of the deal here in terms of the meeting. We're down to the member comment period, but first I want to make sure that everybody on the board, I'm going to kind of open the floor up to you guys first. Maybe we'll just kind of, if you got something, raise your hand. And of course I don't see Eugene or Blue Canoe, so you guys can just speak up if you got anything. So we'll just open it up. Does anybody got anything else to add? Any comments? Anything? Bueller? No. Bueller? Okay. All right, great. All right, well, let's go to... so, Mr. Tees, are you there? Oh, Jim? All right, I cannot see the room, so I don't know if we have any members actually in the room. How about Brian? Brian, is there anybody in the room, in our chat room? Because I want to open up for comments. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, great. Well, if there's nothing going on over on there, that's fantastic. We can go ahead and our next meeting is on November 18th, which I did not look and see. Well, it's a Wednesday. I know that. That shouldn't be anywhere near Thanksgiving. That's going to be later. Good. So that won't interfere with us. No. Oh, I can hear my voice. That's weird. That's gonna. Yeah. Or turn that off. Okay. All right. So next meeting, November 18th, Wednesday, of course. At this point, I'm ready to adjourn. If there's nothing else from anybody else, we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting. And let me